You're about to pay for a second AI subscription you don't need, and nobody selling you either one is going to stop you. So let's settle it. If you're a small business owner or a freelancer typing ChatGPT versus Claude for work, which's better into a search bar at 11 at night, here's the short version before we go deep. ChatGPT's work offering is built for teams and for finding information across your company. Claude leans toward deep technical work, writing, and careful reasoning. Both are genuinely capable, and for a lot of normal people, neither one is worth a second monthly bill. That's the surface answer. But the real question isn't which tool is smarter. It's whether the way you actually work matches what each one is built for, and whether you're about to burn money delegating tasks a free tier already handles. Stick with me, because by the end, you'll know exactly which one to pay for, which one to skip, and the specific kind of person who should cancel both today. Here's the trap. The marketing pages both make the same promise. Cut your workload in half. Do the work of a whole team, and they're not lying, exactly. They're just not telling you the promise only pays off if your work looks like the work they optimize for. Quick thing before we get into the head-to-head, this channel is sponsored by MBC Canada Inc. And if you run a trades or construction business, they fix the bookkeeping mess that's choking your numbers so you can finally see your cash instead of guessing at it. They put together a free trades bookkeeping scorecard that shows you roughly how much money your business is quietly losing right now. And the link is the first thing in the description. Go grab it, then come right back, because the money comparison we're about to do matters a lot more once you can actually see your own. Let's start with the thing that adds berry. These two tools were designed with different customers in mind, and you can feel it the second you use them for real. ChatGPT's work version is aimed at teams and companies. Think shared access across a whole office, connecting to the stuff your business already runs on, and helping people find answers buried across scattered documents and chat threads. The pitch is that instead of 5 employees each asking the same question, they ask one place and get one answer. That's a team and information story. It shines when the pain is that nobody in the building can find anything. Claude, on the other hand, feels like it was tuned for one skilled person doing something hard. Long, careful writing, reasoning through a messy problem step by step, and especially technical work, where it can read a big chunk of material and stay consistent all the way through. It's less about a whole team finding facts and more about one person producing something good. So, already the question changes shape. It isn't which robot is better, it's are you a team drowning in scattered information or a person trying to produce careful, difficult work? Because the winner flips depending on that answer, and most people never even ask it. Beat 1. Digging answers out of your own business. This is where the ChatGPT work setup is genuinely strong. Picture a small agency with 3 years of proposals, contracts, ANA, and client notes spread across folders nobody remembers naming. Somebody asks, what did we quote that client last spring? And normally that's 20 minutes of digging. Connected to your company's own material, this kind of tool can pull the answer and point you to where it came from. That's a real time saver, but only if you have that problem at scale. Here's the honest part. If you're a solo freelancer with a tidy folder and a good memory, you don't have a haystack. You have 3 documents. Paying for a team-grade search engine to find one of 3 documents is like renting a forklift to carry your groceries, so beat 1 goes to ChatGPT's work version, but with an asterisk. It wins for teams buried in their own information. For a one-person shop, it's solving a problem you don't have. Keep that asterisk in your pocket because it's going to decide everything at the end. Beat 2, the hard, technical stuff. And this is where the tables turn hard. Say you're not just asking a question, you're handing over something complicated. A long technical spec, a tangle of logic that has to stay consistent from the first line to the last. This is Claude's home turf. It tends to hold the whole thing in view and keep its reasoning straight instead of drifting or contradicting itself halfway down. Let me walk one example. Imagine you paste in a messy set of rules for how your business prices jobs, all the exceptions and edge cases, and you ask the tool to turn it into clean, plain instructions your team can follow. The weaker result skips an exception or quietly changes a rule. Claude tends to keep every piece intact and reason about how they fit together. For anything where a small drop detail breaks the whole thing, that consistency is the entire game. Does that mean ChatGPT can't do technical work? No, it absolutely can, and for shorter tasks, you may not feel a difference at all. But as the task gets longer and the stakes get higher, the gap widens. Beat 2 goes to Claude, clearly for deep technical work, which raises an obvious question. What about, plain old writing, the thing most of us actually need? That's where it gets interesting. Beat 3, writing and copy. This one splits in a way that ads never admit. Both tools write. Both write fine for a quick email or a social caption. If that's your bar, you will not feel a reason to pay for either over a free option. Be honest with yourself about that. But there's a kind of writing where the difference shows up. Long-form copy that has to hold a specific voice. A sales page where the tone can't wobble. A careful rewrite of something touchy where the wrong word costs you. Claude tends to hold a consistent voice across a long piece and follow finicky instructions about tone without you babysitting it. Here's a concrete one. You've got a tense email to send. The draft in your head is sharp and a little angry. You ask for the same message, calm, firm, no apology, keeps the deadline. The difference between a serviceable rewrite and a genuinely good one is whether it keeps your spine while dropping the heat. That's the kind of nuance where careful writing earns its keep. So, beat 3 leans Claude for serious, voice-sensitive writing, but only barely, and only if writing is a real part of your job. For a caption here and there, this is a distinction that doesn't matter to your life. Notice the pattern forming? Both tools are good. The question is always whether your work is heavy enough to feel the difference. Beat 4, working as a team, swing back the other way. If you've got employees, this changes the math completely. ChatGPT's work version is built around a lot of people using the same setup, sharing access, and pulling from the same connected information. The value isn't one genius answer. It's everyone in the building working off the same source instead of 5 different guesses. Walk it through. A new hire needs to know your refund policy. Instead of interrupting someone, they ask the shared tool that's connected to your actual document and get the real answer with a pointer to where it lives. Multiply that across a whole team, all day, and the time it saves stacks up. That's a genuine reason a growing company pays per seat. Claude can be used by teams too, so this isn't a wall. But the team and shared information story is where ChatGPT's work version was clearly aimed, and it shows. Beat 4 goes to ChatGPT for anyone managing actual people. So we're tied up, each tool winning on its own turf. Now the beat that decides it for most of you watching, beat 5, the money. And this is the part nobody's selling you either tool once said out loud. Both of these are paid, and there are paid tiers built for work use. I'm not going to quote you a price because these numbers move and you should check the current pages yourself. But here's the mechanic that matters more than the exact figure. Team grade tools usually bill per seat, so the cost scales with how many people you add. One person paying for 1 seat is a small recurring bill. 10 people is that bill 10 times, every month, forever. So run the honest test on yourself. What are you actually asking these tools to do most days? If the honest answer is summarize this, draft a quick email, look something up, do some light research, then here's the uncomfortable truth. A free tier already does that. You'd be paying a monthly subscription for capability you're not using. The paid tiers earn their money in 2 situations. 1, you're a team and the per seat cost buys real shared time back. 2, you're one person doing genuinely heavy work. Long technical documents, serious writing, careful reasoning, where the better output directly makes or saves you money. Outside those 2 situations, you're renting a forklift for your groceries again. That's the loop I opened with, and now you can see the shape of the answer. Beat 6, where each one actually breaks because the honest reviews skip this. Neither of these is magic, and both will let you down in specific ways. A team search tool is only as good as the mess you point it at. If your company's documents are chaotic, contradictory, or out of date, it will confidently hand you a clean answer built on stale information. Garbage in, confident garbage out. It doesn't fix your filing, it reflects it, and the deep reasoning strength cuts both ways too. A tool that's great at careful, long output can still be wrong with total confidence. It writes the mistake as smoothly as the truth. So on anything that actually matters, a contract clause, a tax question, a technical spec that has to be right, you're still the one who checks it. Neither tool removes the human who's responsible, it just moves faster to the thing you have to verify. That's the part the marketing never says. These are power tools, not autopilots. The people who get burned are the ones who paid for the subscription and then stopped reading what it handed them. Which brings us to the question underneath all of this. For a normal small operation, is any of this worth the monthly bill at all? Beat 7, the freelancer and tiny business reality check. If you're a freelancer or you run a small shop by yourself, walk through this honestly. You don't have a team, so the shared access value mostly doesn't apply to you. You probably don't have a giant haystack of company documents, so the company search value mostly doesn't apply either. What's left is you doing your work one task at a time. And in that case, the deciding factor is simple. Is your work heavy or light? If you're producing serious writing, wrestling technical material, or reasoning through complex problems every single day, then a paid tool that does that better pays for itself. If you're mostly drafting emails and doing light research, a free tier is already carrying you, and the paid version is a bill for nothing. Here's the reframe most people miss. The right move for a lot of small operators isn't ChatGPT or Claude. It's the free tier of one of them, used well until your work genuinely outgrows it. Growing into a paid tool is smart. Paying for one to feel professional is just a subscription you'll forget to cancel. So let's put the whole thing together into something you can act on tonight. If you manage a team and the pain is everyone hunting for the same information, ChatGPT's work version is the natural fit, and the per seat cost can genuinely buy time back. If you're one skilled person doing heavy technical work, careful writing, or deep reasoning, Claude is the pick because that consistency and depth is exactly its strength. And if your day is mostly light drafting and quick lookups, both paid tiers are overkill and a free tier is the honest answer. That's the objective map. But maps don't tell you whether to bother in the first place, and that's the real question a busy owner is actually asking. I don't think there's any comparison here, but Claude Opus 5 is absolutely OG and overpowered. ChatGPT 5.5 doesn't really have anything on Fable either. Now that Fable, which is the model up from Claude Opus, is a part of the subscription, it's the highest subscription anyway, that's what I have. There is no real point in using ChatGPT except if you're using Codex with Claude Fable as an adversarial review. If you're just using ChatGPT to actually just do work, just switch over to Opus 5. You are going to have a way better experience with Opus 5 doing your work than you ever did with ChatGPT. It's going to hallucinate less, lie less, and be more transparent. I'm a big fan of Claude on this channel, of course. ChatGPT does have its place for the adversarial review of the work Claude does, but for the bulk of the work, you're going to want to use Claude Opus 5 or Fable 5. Just use Claude. People, stop using ChatGPT or Gemini. If you actually want to get real work done, use Claude. And if Claude is a mystery to you, Opus is a mystery to you. Start using it and you'll thank me later. So here's the decisive version. Match the tool to your work, not to the marketing. Team drowning in its own information, ChatGPT's work version. One person doing heavy, careful, technical work, Claude. Light work, stay free until you outgrow it. The worst outcome isn't picking the wrong one. It's paying for either while doing work a free tier already handles, month after month because a landing page told you serious people pay. Run the honest test. Look at what you actually asked an AI to do this past week. If it was heavy, pay for the one that fits. If it was light, keep your money and use a free tier like you mean it. And a real thank you to NBC Canada Inc. for backing this one. If you run a trades or construction business, take 2 minutes and grab their free bookkeeping scorecard at the link below to see how much money your business might be quietly losing right now. If this made the choice clearer, subscribe for plain English AI breakdowns like this one and tell me which tool you want me to put on the chopping block next.